Imagine discovering an object so mysterious that for more than 170 years, collectors, historians, religious scholars, and ordinary people have continued asking the same question without reaching the same answer. It is not made from tons of gold, it has never started a war, and it has never been locked inside the world's most famous museums because of its price. Instead, its greatest mystery lies inside a single perfect circle. A circle so precise that some believe it was placed there with a hidden purpose, while others insist it carries a forgotten message from history itself. The truth is far stranger than most people realize, because the mystery does not begin with the circle. It begins with one of the most important religious events of the 19th century. The year was 1854. Europe was changing rapidly. Revolutions had shaken kingdoms, science was advancing at incredible speed, and old traditions were constantly being questioned. During this uncertain period, Pope Pius IX announced the formal definition of the doctrine known as the Immaculate Conception. For millions of Catholics around the world, this became one of the most significant religious declarations of the century. To commemorate the historic event, special medals were created. Among them was a remarkable medal that would later become known simply as the coin of the Immaculate Conception. At first glance, the medal appears ordinary. It contains beautiful religious artwork, carefully engraved letters, and elegant decorative elements that reflect the artistic style of 19th century Europe. Most people who see it notice the craftsmanship, admire its age, and move on. Yet those who examine it closely often stop at one unusual detail hidden within its design. Near the center appears a perfectly shaped circular feature unlike anything commonly seen on medals from the same period. It is this small circle that has fueled decades of speculation. Collectors first began discussing the unusual circle many years after the medal was produced. Early auction records focused almost entirely on the medal's historical importance rather than its mysterious design. But as photography improved and high-resolution images became easier to study, enthusiasts started comparing different examples. Surprisingly, the circle appeared consistently on authentic medals, suggesting it was intentionally included rather than accidentally created by damage or wear. That discovery immediately raised an important question. If the circle was intentional, why was it placed there? Designers of the 19th century rarely added meaningless details to religious medals. Every symbol usually represented an idea, a biblical reference, or a theological message understood by the people of the time. Yet no official document from the Vatican clearly explained the purpose of this particular circle. The silence surrounding its meaning became the beginning of one of numismatic's quietest mysteries. Yet many researchers remain unconvinced. They argue that the circle is too perfect, too deliberate, and too isolated to be dismissed as decoration. Unlike surrounding ornaments, it possesses remarkable geometric precision. Such accuracy required careful planning, especially considering the engraving technology available in the mid-19th century. Creating perfectly symmetrical curves by hand demanded extraordinary skill. Why invest such effort into a feature that nobody intended to notice? Others point toward the symbolic importance of circles throughout religious history. Across many civilizations, the circle has represented eternity because it has no beginning and no end. It symbolizes divine perfection, heavenly unity, and infinite existence. Christian art frequently uses circular halos to represent holiness and eternal life. Could the mysterious circle therefore represent God's perfection surrounding the doctrine of the Immaculate Conception? The idea appears reasonable, yet no historical record confirms it beyond doubt. One reason the mystery survives is because documentation from the period is incomplete. Many design notes, workshop records, and correspondence between engravers simply no longer exist. Fires, wars, political instability, and the passage of time destroyed countless archives across Europe. Historians today often reconstruct the past using fragments rather than complete records. Sometimes a single missing document is enough to leave an unanswered question for centuries. Numismatic experts who specialize in religious medals generally agree on one important point. The medal itself is authentic. The circle appears consistently across verified examples produced during the 19th century. This greatly weakens theories claiming it resulted from later alterations or accidental damage. If every genuine specimen contains the same feature, then its inclusion was almost certainly intentional. Modern imaging technology has revealed even more interesting details. Under magnification, the edges of the circle appear clean and deliberate rather than irregular. Tool marks indicate that experienced engravers carefully planned its placement before the dies were completed. This evidence strengthens the argument that the circle formed part of the original artistic vision instead of being a manufacturing defect. However, knowing that something was intentional does not automatically explain why it exists. This is where the mystery becomes especially fascinating. History often preserves objects while losing the explanations behind them. Entire civilizations have left monuments whose exact purposes remain debated despite centuries of research. Sometimes the object survives longer than the knowledge needed to understand it. The coin of the Immaculate Conception represents exactly this type of historical puzzle. Every confirmed fact seems to generate two new questions. The more closely experts examine the metal, the more carefully they separate evidence from assumption. Genuine research rarely produces dramatic answers overnight. Instead, it slowly removes impossible explanations while leaving only the most probable ones standing. And perhaps that curiosity reveals the greatest mystery of all. Not whether the circle represents sacred geometry, hidden symbolism, artistic balance, or forgotten theology, but why no official explanation has ever surfaced despite generations of research. If the answer was once obvious, when did humanity forget it? If the explanation still exists somewhere, or has it remained hidden for more than a century? And if the circle truly carries a message, perhaps the most important discovery has not yet been made. For generations, researchers have searched for an answer that would transform the mysterious circle from speculation into certainty. Every new examination promised a breakthrough, yet every conclusion seemed to end exactly where it began, with another unanswered question. The coin of the Immaculate Conception remained an object suspended between history and mystery, preserving its silence while inviting every generation to interpret it differently. One of the most persistent theories focuses on the metal's engraver rather than its religious symbolism. During the 19th century, master engravers often included subtle geometric guides while designing highly detailed dies. These guides helped maintain perfect symmetry when transferring complex artwork onto metal. Normally, such construction marks disappeared during the final engraving process. Some researchers believe the mysterious circle may have originated from one of these hidden geometric layouts, but was intentionally left visible because it enhanced the overall composition. If true, the circle would represent the invisible mathematics behind religious art rather than a secret message. Yet another group of historians completely rejects this explanation. They argue that construction guides were working tools, never decorative elements. Leaving one visible on an official commemorative medal approved for public distribution would have been highly unusual. Such an oversight from experienced Vatican engravers seems unlikely. This disagreement has kept the debate alive because both sides present logical arguments, but neither possesses definitive evidence. Attention eventually shifted toward the workshops responsible for producing papal medals. 19th century medal making was a remarkably precise craft. Every line, curve, and inscription was carved into hardened steel by skilled artisans whose reputations depended upon perfection. A single mistake could ruin weeks of work. This level of craftsmanship suggests that every visible element on the medal existed for a reason, even if that reason has been forgotten. Researchers then began comparing the coin of the Immaculate Conception with other Vatican medals produced before and after 1854. Surprisingly, while many shared similar artistic styles, none displayed an identical circular feature in exactly the same manner. This comparison strengthened the belief that the circle was not simply part of a standard design tradition. Instead, it appeared unique to this particular commemorative issue, making its purpose even more intriguing. Perhaps the greatest reason the mystery continues is the absence of evidence rather than the presence of it. Historical research depends on surviving records. When documents disappear, certainty disappears with them. Archives are incomplete, correspondence is lost, and workshop instructions that once seemed ordinary may never have been preserved because no one imagined they would matter centuries later. Sometimes history does not hide its secrets deliberately. Sometimes it simply forgets them. modern collectors have also contributed valuable observations. When authentic examples of the metal appear at auctions or in private collections, specialists carefully examine dimensions, engraving depth, and microscopic details. Despite differences caused by wear and age, the mysterious circle consistently appears in the same position and with nearly identical proportions. This remarkable consistency confirms one important fact: the circle belongs to the original design. It was never added afterward, and it cannot be dismissed as accidental damage. Scientific analysis has provided additional clues, but no final answer. Under magnification, the engraved edges show deliberate cutting techniques consistent with 19th century die engraving. The circle was neither stamped later nor produced by corrosion. Every technical examination points toward intentional craftsmanship. Ironically, each scientific confirmation only deepens the mystery because it proves the feature was created on purpose while revealing nothing about the purpose itself. As interest spread online, countless images of the metal circulated across collector forums, historical websites, and video channels. Some viewers believed they saw mathematical perfection. Others noticed religious symbolism. A few even claimed hidden patterns became visible only when the design was digitally enlarged. Experts caution against such conclusions because the human mind naturally searches for patterns, especially when confronted with incomplete information. Not every perceived connection reflects historical reality. There is also something deeply symbolic about a circle itself. Unlike a straight line, a circle has no beginning and no end. It returns endlessly to its starting point. Perhaps that is why this tiny feature continues attracting attention after more than 170 years. Every investigation follows the same path. Researchers gather evidence, eliminate impossible theories, compare historical records, and eventually arrive back where they started, standing before the same silent circle, asking the same unanswered question. Could the answer still exist inside an overlooked archive waiting to be discovered? It is entirely possible. Across Europe, libraries, monasteries, and private collections continue revealing forgotten manuscripts that rewrite small pieces of history. A single workshop sketch, an engraver's diary, or an official design note could instantly solve the mystery that has puzzled collectors for generations. Until such evidence appears, every responsible historian must distinguish between documented fact and imaginative speculation. And perhaps that is precisely why this small metal continues captivating people around the world. It reminds us that history is not a completed book. It is a puzzle with missing pieces, where even the smallest detail can challenge centuries of assumptions. The perfect circle has inspired debate not because it reveals an obvious answer, but because it refuses to reveal one at all. Maybe the circle symbolizes divine perfection. Maybe it reflects the mathematical genius of a forgotten engraver. Maybe it served a practical artistic purpose that 19th century craftsmen considered too obvious to explain. Or perhaps the true meaning disappeared alongside documents lost to wars, fires, and time itself. Until new evidence emerges, every theory remains only a possibility. Perhaps one day a forgotten document will surface, ending the debate forever. Or perhaps the coin of the Immaculate Conception will remain exactly what it has become, a remarkable historical artifact whose greatest value lies not only in its age or craftsmanship, but in its ability to remind us that even in an age of satellites, artificial intelligence, and unlimited information, history still guards some of its smallest secrets with extraordinary determination. And somewhere within that silent, perfectly engraved circle, the final answer may still be waiting.